Alrighty guys, we are back and we are playing around with a bit more of this. Right, so as you may have seen in the last video, if you saw it, once again, where is it? So obviously it wasn't an issue of a dried out belt because I pretty much instantly stripped the belt. So I bought a couple belts in different sizes to test and I got carried away. I bought some more stuff. So waiting for them to come, but while I wait I can start stripping it. All of that will be the same episode. I'll be putting it all in and testing it all in this episode. I can start stripping the motor for stuff I don't need, moving things, pulling the head to the cam. I really need to fix the front suspension. A, I need to raise it because it's sitting low. B, the steering is a big issue. It's not turning too great, and when it does, then it drags a wheel or it locks a wheel, and yeah. So firstly, to raise it, we got this fancy little coilover wrench, which I have for the pit bikes, which I haven't used yet, so let's see how it goes. Oh, these were literally as like dumped as they can go. They're all the way to the top. It's a bit of a mission because I'm trying to go kind of almost the opposite direction. I want to go as high as I can. So yeah, I've been turning for a while on both sides. Sweet. They're now the same and raised. Probably not exactly where it's going to be. I may end up changing it once I can actually test ride it, but just a bit of a guess. What now? So if I directly point the wheel straight, we have a fair bit of toe in, so should be able to extend these a little bit. Right, this way. Don't know how much I got. Assuming when this was assembled, these are assembled even. Since that is one nice piece, that should be good. That's nice. I like that. Cool. Although I did notice something in that. These are definitely different lengths because I got a lot more steering one way than the other. So I may actually have to pull apart the tie rods and actually make them even in the actual tie rod itself because that's not good. Well, yeah, you can see. That's dead straight. Look how much toe I got. It's straight. Out. So I'm gonna have to pull apart the wheels. Not the wheels, sorry. I have to pull apart these links and probably adjust it a little bit, unless if I can do it another way. So yeah, let me get back to you once I figure this out, because this is a bit more fun now. Now they are spot on right. Connect all this back up. Front end should be relatively where I want it. Oh, other than I need to tighten all these. These are there's a bit of play in the steering. So yeah. Reassemble, tighten them, and then let's head to the rear, I guess, because this is all I guess for now. Alright, so while just like testing things and going, oh yeah, it's seeming alright, I heard a weird click. And if you can see it as I turn, while the upper control arm, wait, lower? No, upper, or just upper, can just like move. So I guess I'm going to take it apart and put some washers in. This side's not as bad, but like, it's definitely got some play side to side. So, I'm going to pull them apart quickly, figure out that issue. Then, we're going to start pulling apart some of the rear engine. Alrighty, so, I ended up playing around with the front for a fair bit to get it right. mess around with the stuff, get these not loose. And now the front, I am happy with for now. I don't fully know because, yeah, I haven't test ridden it, but that's good. So now, we are going to start tearing apart, well, essentially this motor, because we got a fair few things to do. Alright, so firstly will be to start draining the fuel, and hopefully I don't miss too much. I don't want to hold it. I want to remove the tank. Alright, now we're going to remove the tank. Okay. Let's bolt. So essentially we don't need this anymore, but we'll see how it goes, if we're going to use it or not. But now that that's off, I can start looking at removing all this stock throttle stuff. So I'm pretty sure just like everything involving this throttle can basically go, which is interesting. But yeah, let's start removing. So many candy bolts. There we go. So yeah, that little pin I know is getting removed. Probably shouldn't push it now. It should also come off. This I don't think we need anymore. So this comes with a whole new plate that comes across the top. Throttle linkage straight to here, that doesn't go through the governor arm or something, which I have to remove. Governor arm, the weights and all the stuff in here. But yeah, that's that throttle system move. I hope it just links up to this carby because I haven't actually changed the system properly yet. I probably didn't need to do any of that, and I could have upgraded the carby, but we're sticking with the stock carby for some reason. Don't know why. Stupid idea. Cool. Well, now we got to come down, remove torque converter, and all this business. To get the chain on. There we go. Alright, there's still one more. There we go. Okay. That is that system removed. Sweet. So I've got an oil pan under it. I've just put some rags over my sprocket so that I don't get it too destroyed. But let's get this casing off. There we go. Now it should crack, oil should dump. There we go. Chassis got covered, that's alright. Is there any guide pins? I know on pit bike engines there's bloody guide pins and they do my head in. Yes, I see some. Don't mess up the gasket or the guide pin. Well, I am replacing the cams, that's alright, but I did want to know kind of how they lined up and worked still before it fell out. We're actually good. So I found the little hole in the crank right there. The hole in the cam right there. So obviously I did put the cam in just in a random way. So that's right. This can just come out. And then I just got to turn this and align them once I reassemble this. But for now, I believe, so in the instructions there's another little dingo here which I don't have. So cool, we don't need that. But now I just got to turn the crank so that this is out of the way, and then I think just tap this down or whatever. So yeah, let's get that out. Alright, so I've gone ahead and removed the governor arm. There's no actual like governor or whatever it's caught in, like it said. I'm leaving the cam in a line just so that I can have the valves in the same and everything for messing with the top. But for this, I've cleaned out the inside. I'm just getting a bolt which is similar size, covered in proper good oil resistant gasket maker. Sliding her in. That's right. Slide her in nicely. Twisting it up and down. Get all that gasket in there. And then, hopefully, in case so they don't send me a thingo, that's going to work. Fingers crossed. So I've given everything a good clean up, chassis and everything, so the oil's gone. Now, pull off the head and start removing and organising the springs and valves and retainers and all that good stuff. Firstly, let's get chaser. That out the way. Breather. I will make a custom kind of catch can setup soon. I was going to buy one, but there's no point when I can just kind of make one that's going to be cooler. Should be one bolt which comes off, but it's not coming off. I don't want to break anything. We caught it. Alright, I'm going to go put this aside quickly. I said it before, but everything being brand new is so nice. You know. So we're going to take off these bolts, take off the retainers, pop out the valves and springs, make sure we don't lose the organisations of these, and then when we get the new springs, we can just put the new springs in, yada yada yada. But for now, let's get these retainers out. Loosen this bad boy too. Actually, just going to leave these in. But to the side. Better. So I got one out. So how I did this, obviously not with the right tool, but I just got a socket that's big enough to just go around that split clip thinger. Don't really know. Just push it. Ooh. I don't really know how to do it last time, but I just pushed it and it got the right angle and popped it. Just do that again, right? There we go. I just didn't push further enough. That's the right one. Sweet. It's a different system. Interesting. Anyway, now that we got both of them out, I can go put them, everything organised. So now that when the new springs come, I can just chuck the new springs in, chuck the retainers in. That's ready and done. Very nice. Alright. So now that that is all done, you can go and remove this cover anymore and remove the flywheel. That's off. Okay. Now, I hope this doesn't just rocket propel the flywheel and also the crank. Yeah, fuck it, we'll spin it. That's not it. I don't like breaking things. Yeah, buddy. Bit of screwdriver action. Don't think we need that anymore. Don't need that anymore. Flywheel. Oh, no. Don't. It's not that easy. Right, with the good old typical screwdriver, tap. Got the flywheel off. So, alrighty. So we are now a couple of days in the future since I removed flywheel. So now that I've got everything except for sadly the belt for the torque converter, the one thing I kind of really needed, I can get this assembled anyway and ready for when I get the belt, probably tomorrow or the next day, and then send it around the paddock once again, but this time with hopefully a bit more power and running rod. So yeah, let's start throwing new stuff on. I'll start with internals, the cam, the valve springs, flywheel, then get all the casings back on, etc. And then start working on all the new throttle linkage, fancy stuff. I got an actual adjustable thing for the carb, because I'm not changing the carb yet. Don't ask why. Whole new fuel system with the vacuum fuel pump and stuff. So we'll get all this in, get the covers back on, then start getting all this other stuff on. So quickly, before I start putting things on and kind of just skipping and putting in time lapse and everything, I will be pulling this motor again very soon. I want to do the conrod and piston. So when I do that, if you see this fin up here, you want to shave this down a little bit so you got more clearance, because when you start pushing more RPM, that can apparently cause mayhem. So yeah, I don't want that. I've been doing a lot of research into these motors and asking questions to people and learning, so hopefully we can get this going pretty quick. Also, I'm probably going to be deleting starter motor because I don't need it anymore with this flywheel. So yeah, now let's start throwing flights on. That's cam done. That's how easy it is. So now I can get this casing back on. Yeah, so I know I'm probably a bit close and everything, but I did say I was going to swap this motor to probably the 350 or something, but yeah, clearly that's not happening anymore. I've seen what these motors can kind of do, and they kind of seem fun, so we're building one now. You always want to do these in a star pattern, and then after I finger tighten all of them in a star pattern, I'll go through and torque them in a star pattern in 24 newmeters. Because torque specs actually do matter, believe it or not. So now I've gone through and tightened them all to 24 in a star pattern. I'm just going to go through, double check them all, just to be certain. Right, so as you saw earlier in this video, I've left the retainers in just to make it easy on myself. I mean, whatever you call them. This is going to be a bit more interesting, purely because these springs are a bit more solid. So to actually get these on without the tool, I think is going to be a bit of fun. Yeah. Interesting. This is going to be fun as hell. Alright, so valve springs are in, retainers are on. Those two clips were a living fucking nightmare. Me and my mate just spent hours doing some fucking crazy bullshit. Retainers are on, set to 0.02 millimeter gap, plus or minus, yeah, with the little dingos. I just got to chuck my spark plug back in since we pulled the head, and then put the valve cover back on, and then start doing flywheel. Alrighty. So now the flywheel. Firstly, I'm gonna get rid of this fucking star motor. We don't need this shit no more. We don't need fancy technology. Going back in time. Well, that's meant to be 65 pound foot, so I've got to figure that one out now. I'm gonna torque this down. Once this is torqued down, I'll be back to you with gapping this motherfucker. Cool, so got that all torqued down. Gonna quickly set this to 0.03 with the feeler gauge. That's what it recommends, so just slide that in, give it a tighten. Same on the other side. But yeah, now I've got that on, we can put this casing back on. I'm gonna quickly do the fuel system, and before I do the throttle, I'm gonna see if it all works and all. So yeah, fuel system. I don't know when I'm mounting this temporarily, this fucking ugly fuel tank, until I make a new fancy one. I'll quickly install the carb adjustment and then all the fuel stuff. So I'm just gonna quickly pull all the carb apart, which you've seen me do before, so I'll skip. And then I'm gonna start figuring out all this fancy vacuum fuel pumps and this adapter plate that goes in there. It's got the little vacuum hose so the fuel pump can work. I don't know. Well, let's just throw things together, I guess. Alright, so I've gone ahead, pulled off the carb. Now I can remove this one, add my new plate in, so I can suck vacuum. Is there a gasket on that? Yeah, there was. I sent me new gaskets, but all these gaskets are brand new from the brand new engine, so I may as well use them until they're cooked and save new gaskets. Right, this slides on. This slides on. Now, I can slide my carby back on, but I gotta rebuild it in a way. So let's go do that. Alright, so I don't know how well you'll be able to see, but just change the main jet in there, and then it's got this fancy new bolt thingo that goes on the bottom, which just has a pin that goes in and out of the thingo, whatever you want to call it, the main jet. That screws on like so, and then you can just adjust this, and then now I got air fuel adjustment. So I'm going to tighten that up, get the carby back on, and then run some fuel lines and try start the dog. Wish. So with this new fuel tank, this goes in there all the way around with the tube going in, that holds in, sucks the fuel. So I gotta get a length of hose, cut it in there, yada yada yada. Probably about that. Just slides in there. That goes over. This screws on, and that is how fuel gets sucked out of this fuel tank. Until I make my own one, and probably out of aluminium, which will be a cylinder that will just sit in here next to a catch can and all that funny business. Eventually I'm gonna try figure out if there's a way to, I'm gonna get a new valve cover, get a new valve cover, probably imported from America, from some fancy stuff. It's gonna have, I'm gonna see if I can get AN fittings on it, because why not, and get an oil cooler or something as well. So just why not. Alright, so that's it. Now we've done that, we can really just leave this wherever. Where this slides on, just give it a random length to about there. Filter. Move this. Vacuum pump, a fancy vacuum pump, which I do have the throttle linkage, which comes with a plate which sits on the top, so I'm going to bolt this to the plate so it has somewhere to sit. But for now, do what it tells me, follow the lines, sorry, follow the arrows I should say, not the lines. So this bolt here, Get a little extra. Outlet. This one, gonna leave this full length for now because I kind of just can until I figure out things properly. And this goes on top of fuel tank. Or actually, they don't give you vacuum hose. I think I should have some somewhere to run a quick vacuum on. Fuel tank. Once I run a vacuum hose, we'll suck fuel. So I'm going to quickly grab a vacuum hose, connect that to there. We're going to fill this with fuel. I got to chuck the casing on so I can pull start it, and yeah, we'll see if it starts. Alright, so I've got oil, everything should be lined up. I'm just going to have to pull it a couple times for the vacuum to start pulling through consistently. I don't have any throttle, so I just got to make sure this flimsy throttle don't move. And let's get some fuel through, and hopefully it starts. She's going. She's almost through. She's in the carby. Oh, let's hope she starts. Make sure all this is on. Don't think that matters anymore because I have no starter, but let's see. Holy. So I can't get it to idle perfectly, but I'm gonna do the throttle anyway because I can get it to rev out fucking ridiculously. My ears hurt, everything hurts. The straight pipe, this little motor makes noise. This straight pipe makes fucking noise. So I think I'm putting, where is it? I don't know where I'll put it. Fucking, my ears are just ringing at the moment. I've got a muffler, basically. I think I'm gonna put the muffler on it as well. That may have to be a thing. But everything works. This new fuel system works. The little adjusting screw works. Yes, my cam works. We're going good. So now we're gonna get this whole fancy fuck that thing, we don't need that now. I'm gonna get this fancy throttle stuff done. So I actually have throttle. Like I said, this has the plate which goes on top, which is gonna be nice because I can bolt the fuel thing and everything on. So I'm gonna have a look through this, look at the photos that they sent me and try to figure this out. Little one goes this side or the other side, wire goes through, yada yada yada. I will show you once I get it all set up, but essentially that's what it's going to start looking like. This can be now mounted on top, so it actually has somewhere to sit properly. And yeah, I'll get back to you once throttle's connected, and then we'll pretty much be there. Other than sadly the belt, but still going to be the same episode. But let's get this done for now. Sweet. So after messing around for quite a while, that by the way is going to be mounted something like that now. I'm going to put some spacers and mount it. But after a while of messing around, I had to cut this shorter, I had to cut the new cable shorter, run things, figure out how to run the spring. But now, with the new cable and everything, with the slightest tap of the throttle, it moves. And then I have full range of motion. So now I have nice throttle. So I can test it now to see if I actually do have nice throttle. After testing, that's going to be the end of this episode, because really I just got a dummy test fit stuff, put the torque converter on, and then yeah, so sorry, not the end of this episode, the end of tonight until I get my belt and then test it, and then that's the end of the episode. So yeah, hopefully my belt comes tomorrow so I can finish this episode and I can show you the new Gx270. Well, for now, we're gonna go deaf again, and we're gonna test it. Alright, so while waiting, I obviously need a belt, but I've got bored and just kept tuning. And we've gotten to the point of this apparently. I would most definitely say that runs and does stuff. Now I just need me torque converter belt. Bloody hell. Well, when that comes, let's finish this episode. Alright, so we're actually going to end this episode here. There's no test ride. There's a buggy. Pulled apart again. With parts on a table. So basically, my exhaust valve wasn't moving and I was a bit confused. So I pulled the motor and I don't know if you'll be able to fully tell, but I don't really have a bottom lobe. I don't know if it's meant to be like that. It's a stage 2 NR racing cam. I don't know if it's meant to be like that. I've sent the place an email, but I won't be able to get a response to next week, so maybe someone can tell me. But basically, I've decided to do the smart thing, and I'm pulling absolutely everything from this motor. I'm gonna pull it all off camera, and I'm basically just gonna buy every part. I'm gonna fully build this. So before we send this for a rip, I'm just gonna fully build everything. There's gonna be some custom fabrication, bigger suspension, full build on the motor with everything, so piston and cotton rod, basically everything I can throw at it, I'm gonna throw it at stuff to make it look good. Yeah, just expect now a full build, and sadly at the moment not a drive because yeah. So I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. I guess please like and subscribe and comment because I now need to dump more money.